All right, folks, we're answering some soccer questions. Usually I find a question online, usually from Bootroom, sometimes from Facebook groups, but if you go to Reddit and find the subreddit Bootroom, you'll find a lot of questions. And so I'll find a question and then I'll have a little bit of time, or sometimes I'll read it before bed and wake up with an answer. I try to only do it in one take, but sometimes I get a little verbose. So Red, I aim to only do it in one go, but sometimes I redo it. But this is a good opportunity because I got a little bit of time, and most of the time I have some wiggle room to think. But now I have to go off the top. So this will be fun. Let's see what we can cook up. Okay. Let's see if we can get on Bootroom. Reddit Bootroom. And we are seated in a Kador Zayani 7 posture, which is not trivial. Kador Zayani. If you think that you're a athlete and you haven't gotten into and you haven't learned his 7 postures, they'll completely change your life. Okay, so we are in Bootroom. Just a quick Google search, Reddit Bootroom, and we have gone in without logging in. So this is ideal because I'm not sure if I even remember my password. Okay, so we're gonna go straight to questions. The first question let's do, how many questions can we do? Let's see if we go for an hour. Just answer questions right off the top. I don't get this opportunity a lot, so let's do it. Okay. The first thing says I wrote apt to track football group and goal stats. That's not a question, so I'm gonna skip it. Second post says hair products. This is by independent _ peak 8019. You know what? I laugh, but I was on a goal. I had a goal drought. It was like 3 games. I was the starting. I think I was the starting forward. It was either my senior year or my junior year in high school, and we had a blue and white day where everyone was blue and white, and I had some blue hair color, I think I put some in my hair in that game. I remember I scored in that game, and it ended my drought. So I laugh, but it's actually relevant. Okay, the question is: I have sort of mid-long hair, but it's quite thick, sort of similar to Pirlo for much of his career. As of the thickness, I find it difficult to keep it in with a headband. So what products would be best to pair with? I know jelly is usually more preferred. However, never been much of a fan of the greasy look, but any help is appreciated. Okay. Well, as I've been growing my hair out, I think the simple fix to this problem is with a right, not a hairband, but a hair tie, right? Because you could hit that man bun or the top knot. It says thick. If it's like Pirlo, right? This is the easy fix. Boom, hair tie, right? Rubber band hurts. I notice hurts my hair. I have thick hair, and the hair tie, it works perfect. It doesn't get everything, but it gets enough to where it's out of your face. So independent peak 809. I would avoid hair products because you look at the product list. It's like chemical. Right, it's chemicals you can't even spell or pronounce. So, right, when I was younger, I was putting on cologne and putting God knows what on my body, and it's like these little things add up. So I would avoid hair products, and I think a hair tie would help. Or there's different variations of the headband. One I actually really liked was one from Lululemon. They've got some good hair bands. Okay, next question. Do I choose AG or futsal? Sorry for bad English, it's not my first language. So I play football only with my friends. We usually play on AG pitches. AG I believe is artificial grass pitches and futsal courts. It's kind of 60% artificial grass and 40% futsal. Till now, I played in my running shoes, and I decided to buy a pair of shoes. Pair spelled like pair of shoes. Do you guys suggest I buy futsal boots or AG boots? artificial grass or futsal boots. This is oddly a tough question because I don't know this person's disposable income, but you got to argue that, right, this person is on they're on a soccer website asking a soccer related question, so they're definitely committed to playing. So I think you want to buy, my gut says I would buy an everyday pair of shoes that you could wear going out to dinner, right? You could wear it to work, and you could use it for futsal, because then you could hit that trinity, right? Work, training, and going out. So for the shoes that I would choose for futsal boots, or the pair of shoes that can fulfill the trinity, are called zero shoes, right? There's a pair of boots. They cover the ankle. They're a tall boot, but they have a zero drop sole. They got a wide toe box. They got a bendable. They have a bendable. The whole shoe is bendable, and I found that they were all black, and I don't even think they have shoelaces, but they're super comfortable. And zeroshoes.com. They're not like Vibram, right? Vibram kind of have those they have the individual toes that can wiggle. And I like those for training, but you kind of get some funny looks when you're going out on the town with them. So I would choose a pair of shoes that you look good in from zeroshoes.com. And then in terms of athletic grass or artificial grass, I would choose the cheapest pair of shoes that you could get from your local sports store. Because what I noticed, paradoxically, is that the cheapest pair of shoes are usually some of the lightest shoes that you can buy. And what I found is that the cheapest shoes, which are also the lightest, also help you play the most effectively, because a lot of times the most expensive version of cleats, not all the time, but a lot of the time, they'll be very heavy, and it's almost like the lightest pair is stripped away of all the BS, and even though it's the cheapest, it's like the best option. So that's what I would go with, right? One shoe for artificial grass that you could also use on regular grass, and then one shoe for futsal, but that also fulfills the work, training, playing, and going out to town trinity. So that question is from MZVD. Okay, next question. Decision making in games and being more ready for an action. This is by Credonian31. I think I've seen them before on here. I've been struggling with what to do with the ball when I get it. I don't know how I can make knowing what I want to do with the ball before I can get it instinct, since I've always been having decision making problems when playing games. I scan but don't know if the way I scan is exactly the correct and effective way. Oh, I like this question. Okay. I've been struggling with what to do with the ball when I get it. I want to know how I can make knowing what I want to do with the ball before I can get it instinct, because I've always been decision-making problems when playing games. I scan but don't know if the way I scan is exactly the correct and effective way. One thing that Doug Nevins, who I talk a lot about, he's former Gatorade Coach of the Year, out of New Jersey, coaches for West Orange High School. I still, to this day, I believe, and it's August 4th of 2024 at 12 p.m. as I film this. He would say one thing. I remember him saying, and I might be falsely attributing this to him. He would say, keep the ball, and it sounds so simple, almost foolish. But just by having that guide you, that phrase guide you, keep the ball, it allows you not to overthink what to do in games. Because of what you'll notice a lot of coaches do, or a lot of unsophisticated, some things that unsophisticated coaches will do, they'll try and give you too much info. So at halftime they'll be talking about, all these different things. when, you know, at halftime you need to be getting out of the sun or getting out of the cold, whatever the end of the spectrum you're on. You need to take a breath, you need to hydrate, and then you just need to let your breath settle, so that you're just present going into the second half. When coaches, right, if a coach says, well, talking about the other team or strategy or anything, it's like if the coach is still trying to communicate the game plan at halftime of like whatever game, then they've kind of not done the right job. And I think the right job for the coach is to have the players be able to go through the game without the coach saying a word. But it's like, do your players understand your game plan, assuming you have one, and do they know what their shape looks offensively and defensively? But let's remove that from the equation, right? It's so if the only thing that you did was focus on keeping the ball, what this allows you to do is not overthink the next play. It's like, find the open man, pass and move, right? If you have space, take it, and then just keep the ball, right? The idea is to kind of keep the ball while advancing up the field. You kind of want to keep possession in the other team's defensive third and just light their goalkeeper up with as many shots as possible, right? Beat the goalkeeper down and wear them out, right? You want to outshoot them, because in theory, more shots on goal, you'll have more. You want to make the keeper make a save, right? You just say hit the frame. So just, and then once you penetrate their line of defense and can maintain possession, especially if you can get to the baseline, then you remove the offside. Then you remove their ability for an offside trap. So one of the hardest things for a goalkeeper to do is to defend against crosses coming in from the side, or player dribbling up from the baseline from the direction of the corner flag. That's that Matt Fector special. He would I think would play as a right winger, and he would dribble up to the corner flag. That was like his specialty. And then he would be really good at isolating a player in the baseline, because then you could either drive down towards the goal and then poke finish on goal, or chip the goalkeeper right to the top right of the goalkeeper, or just lay it off to the penalty box, penalty area for someone to finish on goal. Right, that's super hard to defend. So decision making in games, juggling is the one thing that's really going to help you improve being more effective at decision making and keeping the ball, because a lot of times in games, you know, it's easy to look good when someone's playing you the ball right at your feet. It's harder to maintain composure and keep the ball if the ball is, you know, by your chest. By mid-level, you'll see a lot of young female players. I noticed watching young youth girls, they're not good at trapping the ball out of the air. So you'll see the ball coming from a goal kick, and it'll bounce up, and they just don't have the. I mean, this is a long time ago, but I just remember them not having the ability to trap it out of the air with their shins or their chest. So the question is, can I bring a ball with me everywhere I go? Because then you can increase the volume of touches, juggling, dribbling, and playing effortlessly. Right? If you can make mistakes in an effortless way, this is going to help. This is going to help you develop a better awareness of where the ball is going to be when it leaves your body. So this is going to allow you to be more relaxed when you get to playing, and it's going to help you keep the ball. So you could be scanning, but so what I'm hearing is that you're scanning, but you don't know what you're even scanning for. So what you're scanning for is time and space of players, right? Keep the ball, and then create a little bit of movement so that you can receive again, and then you're doing the same thing over and over and over as you're working your way up the field. And this isn't a bubble, right? Because the bigger picture is, I mean, most coaches don't articulate to their team what their offensive shape and defensive shape look like. So I'm going to assume that you don't even have that, so which is why that you have to come back to this thing, because you can't account for what we don't know to be true, which is that whether or not the coaches articulated that game plan and their shape offensively and defensively. So it's, can I bring a ball with me everywhere I go? That's question one, so that you can improve your ball striking through juggling. Right? Juggling different size balls will help you be more effective making decisions in games and be ready for action. Okay. And then maybe a close second is understanding where your body is in time and space. And then on the deeper level, it's breathing. It's like the same thing I talk about every single video, right? Dr. Vranich belly breathing. Can I learn how to breathe with my belly? Then question two is, or question say 2 or 3 is, can I make an RMT rope? Because an RMT rope for less than $10, it helps you understand where your body is in time and space. Right, so soccer players are humans first, soccer players second. If you can improve your control and if you can improve your understanding of where your body's in time and space, it's going to help you be more nimble, be more agile, quick on the field, and prevent injuries, so that you can even play. If you're injured, you can't even be on the field, right? Because you're nursing a pull this or a pull that. So it's breathing is question one. Question two is, can I make an RMT rope? And then question three, can I spend more time juggling and dribbling everywhere I go? And that will, in theory, help you be more effective with your decision making in games. Okay, next question. Next post is by JJ Davis, sharing 2 skill goals that they scored. Very cool. Another question is, which football boots should I choose from these 3? They give you a list of, one is a Vapor, one's a Phantom, one's a Nike Mercurial Vapor, one's a Nike Phantom GX2 Academy, and then one's a Nike Tiempo Legend 10. My answer, right, Kevin Kelly says on tools you want to buy the cheapest tools that can get the job done. And then as you, right, let's say you start to get paid for jobs that you're doing that require these tools, right? Let's say you start really, if you're not spending 40 plus hours a week playing soccer, or you're not even playing for 60 seconds a day, right? If you're just getting into playing, then spending a lot of money on expensive cleats doesn't make sense. Well, they're all pretty cheap, $160, $156, $160. I mean, I'm a Vapor. I love Vapors, but you know, Tiempos. It doesn't matter. You put Cristiano, you put Messi in a pair of any type of shoe, they're gonna do great. Not because, right? It's because they spent hours training. So I would start with the cheapest of all those 3 for the reasons stated before, which is a lot of the times cheaper boots will have all the BS stripped away, so there won't be, you know, it's like, it's essentials. It's essentials. The cheapest shoe will be the lightest, which will not weigh you down, so it'll help you be quick on the field. I remember my mom bought me a pair of David Beckham shoes that were like $200. And they were, I mean, I could blame the shoe, but they were heavy, man. They were freaking heavy. And I had never worn Adidas before, and I just, you know, it's not hero worship. It's celebrity. It's like you buy something because a celebrity. You get blinded by that stardom. So don't make that mistake. Okay. That question was from Ezio de Falk. Okay, question from Theo Cheese, TH30 Cheese. Is a massage gun worth it? Context, I'm going into my first year of playing for a college team, D3, USA, and I'm wondering if buying a massage gun is really worth it. I've tried them before and they felt good, but I don't know about the investment and of having one for myself. Also, any recommendations would be appreciated, as well as your experiences with certain brands. A similar question was posed to Charles Poliquin in an interview that he has with Tim Ferriss. And for some background, Charles Poliquin has more gold medals, right? He's passed away, but so no one has more gold medals as a strength coach who's trained more Olympians than him, right? So he's the most winningest gold medal strength coach of any Olympian of all time, dead or alive. And their question was, for my team, should I buy cold therapy rehab tools, or a set of like dumbbell weights, right? Like that was the question. And his answer was definitely the weights, because without strength, you wouldn't even be able to hold your body up against gravity. And the human skeleton, it leaves no trace of the brain. And if you take 11 strong kids versus 11 weak kids, 11 strong kids will win every time. So you could argue that the massage gun, is it a nice to have? Yes, but it's essential? No, because you could invest, you should invest some time checking out. I would check out Edo Portal hanging, because this is going to stretch and it's going to align your spine with gravity. It's going to release, and then it's from fingers to toes, right? If you're hanging from your fingers, it's going to traction out your hands, your fingers, your hands, your wrists, elbows, all the way down, right? You're going to feel cracks in your neck and your spine, and that's free. Any time you can find a ledge or a pull-up bar or a tree, it's a full body stretch, and you won't need to waste time charging it or basically bringing it everywhere you go. You also want to search Edo Portal Squat Clinic, Edo Portal Squat Clinic 2.0. You want to search Kador Ziani, 7 postures. You want to search Dmitry Klokov, 2014 warm-up. You want to search Louis Simmons' reverse hyper machine to understand how to do a reverse hyperextension using a physio ball, a big bouncy ball. You're basically standing, right? Assume that this is a big physio ball, right? One of those big bouncy balls. So what you'll notice if you search Louis Simmons reverse hyper machine, that if you have lower back pain, if you've got sciatica, if you've got pressure anywhere in your lower back or spine, just getting into this position of letting your belly rest on the physio ball with your legs suspended from the air, right? So it's basically a decompression of the lower back and spine, because now your feet are off the ground, and then as you swing your legs down and then swing it back up, it's going to pump blood through your lower back and spine. So it's strengthening and rehabbing at the same time, right? So not a lot of exercises strengthen and rehab at the same time. So this is something else that you can learn, and you don't need a massage gun. It's like any college gym will have a physio ball. Any college gym will have a pull-up bar, and with a pull-up bar, with a physio ball, you can you can achieve the relaxation, it's strength and stretching. So you're going to be looser and stronger post doing these movements, as opposed to just blasting yourself with a massage gun. So yes, massages are nice, but you could argue that there's time economy. Time economy means you only have a limited amount of time to train. So the things that matter the most come before the things that matter the least. So no, it's not worth it. The question is a massage gun worth it? No. You want to learn different rehab, strengthening, right? Ben Patrick, ROKP, Kador Ziani, Kador Ziani, 7 postures, David Weck, RMT rope, Ito portal, squat clinic, Ito portal hanging, Dmitry Klokov 2014 warm-up are 10 times more effective than a massage gun, and all of them are free or very close to being free, and with tools that are readily available basically everywhere you look, or just using your body weight. So that's my best attempt at an answer to Theo Cheese. ZTH course worth it? That question is from Sad Shop 202210. So I'm 16, and I think Harris has a similar road as me. I still play in my school team, and I want to take it further. I have been doing random drills I found off Instagram. I don't know if that works though, but Harris's course looks like it has everything I need. I know it's too good to be true. Should I get the course with my savings? Well, ZTH course worth it. I have no idea what the ZTH course is. But the fact that you're taking initiative and doing random drills you find off Instagram. I mean, Instagram is a beautiful learning machine if used effectively. So, I mean, you gotta think that a reputable business would be happy for you to test it or give you some type of money back guarantee, right? They could say, if you're not pleased, or if you're not using it, and we give you 30 days to test it out, and you don't use it, or you've tried it, or it's unclear, or it's just not effective, I would like to believe that the ZTH course would give you your money back if you're not satisfied. If you're not 100% satisfied with the course, I think they'd give you your money back. I think it's actually, as much as I like to think that the things I'm suggesting, which I wish I knew about years ago, would be more effective than whatever course this is. But now I'm curious, so test it, right? Because then you'll know, because then you could find out, right? It's like, if they think that their course is good enough to sell, then there might be something there, right? So test it, see if there's any value to it, because you won't know until you test it. So, ZTH course worth it? I don't know. So you gotta test it, right? And then make sure you gotta hedge your bet. You gotta make sure, confirm, find out whether or not you'll get, if they have a money back guarantee, or if you're not satisfied, they'll reimburse your money. Because if they don't give you that reassurance that they're willing to if they're so convinced that what they're selling is effective, their course is so effective, and they're not willing to give you money back guarantee, then I wouldn't buy it. I think you're better off than doing drills you find on Instagram, because what they're really saying is they've put together a course, but they're not willing to give you a reassurance that what they're selling, they're not committed to their program. So what they're really trying to do is have someone be convinced to buy it, but it's got no substance. So as long as there's assurance, as long as you can get your money back, if you're not satisfied, I would test it, because it's got your interest, because you're asking the question about it. So you might as well, right? Test it out, see what you can find. Okay. This is from DZA on Reddit. Eyes getting dependent on glasses. Will it impact soccer if I get full-time glasses? I'm 44 and got reading glasses for the first time 2 years ago. I've noticed a dependency on glasses since. Even a few months in, reading glasses weren't optional. If I got all the time glasses, I assume it is probable that my dependency for glasses will grow. How bad can your vision be and not need glasses while playing? I don't have any depth issues, and the ball lines players are currently crystal clear. The main reason I haven't gone for full-time glasses is that I don't want the dependency. Then I have vision issues while I play. I'm not going to be big on touching my eyes or Edgar Davis style glasses as a trade to read scoreboards better on TV. Well, if you noticed the dependency on glasses when you started using reading glasses, then I think what you're doing is creating this negative spiral. It's like you didn't have a dependency until you started using the glasses. So maybe it's placebo, or maybe your eyesight is actually deteriorating in real time. I don't know, man. You've answered the question in the question. You literally said the more that you wear the glasses, the worse your vision is getting when you don't have the glasses. So, I mean, I have no background on this issue because I've never worn glasses. But my gut says that if that's what you're feeling, then you gotta throw those things away, because it's almost like in hospitals when women get to the hospital when they're pregnant, they'll actually put them in a wheelchair. And you might think this is trivial, but there's some countries all the world where pregnant women, they give birth in a field and then they continue to work for the rest of the day. And this sounds crazy, but it's like cultures and different cultures kind of push you in certain directions. And if your gut says that wearing glasses makes you feel more dependent on them, then I just wouldn't, because you're creating this dependency, which is and you said you could see the players, the lines, and the ball crystal clear. So I would toss those things as far away from you as possible. Okay. Which boots should I get? We hit one of those, okay. Creating a custom training plan for a left winger in football. I'm a 16-year-old left winger and I want to create my own training program to enhance my skills, especially focusing on 1v1 situations to really stand out on the field. I have a good mentality and I'm committed to improving every aspect of my game. Here are the key areas I want to focus on. Athletics, overall, which is they're specifying for athletics, they want overall fitness, agility, and endurance. 2, ball control. They want to focus on dribbling, first touch, and close control. 3, they want to focus on, or you want to focus on 1v1 situations, which is techniques and strategies to beat defenders. Then it's number 4, speed, sprinting, acceleration, and quick changes of direction. 5, nutrition. They want balanced meals to support training and recovery. 6, mentality, building mental toughness, confidence, and game intelligence. I was considering the ZTH program, but decided to tailor my own. What should my training plan include? Any specific drills, exercise, or routines you recommend? How should I structure my week to cover all these areas effectively? I think this is going to be the last question I do, because this is like this is what I've been talking about for the past. Like, this is exactly what I wish. Okay, let's just go right at it. So, mentality, nutrition, speed, 1v1 situations, ball control, athletics. Okay. You're 16 years old, you're a left winger. Okay, so this question is from Sad Shop 2210 or 2210. So Muhammad Ali, he would train every moment of every day, 6 days a week, rest on the 7th. So he would rotate between shadow boxing and heavy bag and speed bag and skipping rope and shadow, it would be a perpetual, it was an all-day thing, varying intensities and skills work and sit-ups and push-ups, right? So So that's one story. And there's another quote that goes, "Your best isn't good enough." Right? I think I love that statement. Your best isn't good enough, right? Because you can always get a little bit better. So when they say your best isn't good enough, it's not meant to put you down. What it's really meant to say is, you could always, you create a positive spiral. You spiral yourself up, right? Because as your diet improves and your training improves and your awareness improves, that means your ball control. You're juggling all these balls at the same time, and as you improve it's like you start to raise each one up in the direction of the ideal. Any specific drills, exercises, or routines you recommend? How should I structure my week to cover all these areas effectively? So I would remove the week. I would remove your week. I would remove the idea of a week completely out of this equation. Every single place you are forever, until the day of your death, I would play perpetually. So question 1. The most important thing that you could take away from this video is breathing. You want to do Dr. Vranich belly breathing, right? So if you take a deep breath, right, take this test. If your deep breath looks like this, then you want to search Dr. Vranich, how to breathe. What she's going to do is teach you how to do belly breathing. And belly breathing is so important, especially for soccer players, because it's going to use less energy. Breathing with your belly like this. Breathing with your belly uses less energy than breathing with your upper back and shoulders. If you use less energy breathing with your upper back and shoulders, this means that you're going to have more energy doing all the other things in the game. Sprinting, it's going to allow you to transfer the wasted energy from breathing into everything else that you're already doing. And it's going to help you stay calm in high pressure situations on and off the field. So if there's only thing you could take away from this video, this is it. And the reason is because of the rule of 3. 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter, 3 weeks, give or take, without food or water, you'd be dead. So 3 minutes without air that's why breathing is the most important thing. Dr. Vranich says it's the #1 skill that you can learn as an athlete or just as a human. Animals, babies, all are belly breathers. So, and through no fault of your own, you're probably not breathing correctly. So that's #1. #2 is, I would say, if I could look back, you want to capitalize on the time. If you're going to a practice or you're going to a game, since you're already committed to practice or games, you want to invest in that time. You want to show up early, if possible, or stay late. But I think earlier is ideal, because then you can, even if you show up 5 minutes early, even if you show up 10 minutes early, right? The next practice or next game, if you start to get in this habit of showing up earlier, and then you start to increase the volume of the time that you're showing up earlier, you are going to out-train everyone in you just increase your volume of touches, and that's gonna make you more effective on the field, right? Because you're gonna make more mistakes, and if you make more mistakes, you're gonna learn more. So that's one thing. Another question. Can I show up early to games and practices so that you can get out of your head and into the ball? And this is a great strategy for tryouts too, right? If you show up to a tryout half an hour early, an hour early, and you're there before the coach is there who are going to be selecting the players, and they see you rotating between dribbling sequences, juggling sequences, using an RMT rope and using a kick trainer and maybe 3-hand juggling and just strengthening and prehabbing your body, going through different ranges of motion, it's almost as if you can turn your warm-up into a second tryout, because what you're doing is signaling to the coaches, not only am I prepared for the tryout, but my training is so smart that it's actually going to become an ideal for what the coach wishes all the other players were doing that he wants on his or her team. So you could have a bad, I would be surprised, right? It'd be really hard to have a bad tryout if your training routine, training warm-up before the tryout is excellent. So question number 2 is, can I make or invest in an RMT rope, because this is going to improve your speed, right? So this is going to improve speed and athletics. If you improve speed and athletics, this is an underlying foundation for 1v1 situations and ball control, because it's going to give you the support, it's going to give you the base that you can build that ball control in 1v1 situations on, and speed on, and injury prevention, right? Like I said before, if you're injured, you can't even be on the field, you can't be training. So RMT rope also works as a rehab tool. So if you are injured, just using an RMT rope, swinging it from side to side, using your both hands, left hand or right hand, depending on your injury, is going to help you get back on the field faster. It's also going to help you with athletics and speed. In terms of ball control, question number 3 is, can I bring a ball with me everywhere I go? Right? Because then you could start doing dribbling sequences. A dribbling sequence looks like this. My favorite is the Tom Turnbull dribbling sequence. With your right foot, you go, well, you're gonna go alternate between your right foot and your left foot. So you go outside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Right? Well, this is kind of, I don't want to get kicked out of this freaking hotel lobby room, so I think we're charged up. Let's see. All right, so you could see what we're freaking talking about here. Right, so this is a Tom Turnbull dribbling sequence. You go outside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. And you want to say this out loud as you're doing it. This is a very important part of doing this exercise, because it's going to help you internalize the drill. It's going to help you establish a mind-body connection faster than if you did this exercise, this drill, without saying it out loud. Right? So say it out loud when you do it. Then go slow. A lot of players I try and teach this to, they go way too fast. Even when I tell them to go slow, they'll still go fast. So just take your time. Get very relaxed. Focus on your breathing. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. If you spend 60 seconds a day practicing this dribbling sequence, it's going to help you not think about dribbling when you get on the field, because it's a rhythmic pattern. Rhythmic patterns allow players to improve their dribbling abilities effortlessly. So this is going to help you in 1v1 situations, and it's going to help you dance around defenders. Okay. Oh, and another key part is doing dribbling sequences with a size 1 ball. You could argue, right, a size 1 ball is harder to manipulate than a size 5 ball or a size 4 ball. So if you can invest in a size 1 ball and just bring it everywhere you go, so that you can be dribbling and juggling everywhere you are, it's really gonna give you a competitive advantage, because when you start to dribble on the field with a size 5 ball, it's gonna feel so much easier since you're used to training with a smaller ball. Right, all the countries where everyone's using a futsal ball or smaller weighted balls and smaller balls, and they get on, and then you'll notice that their dribbling abilities are just so much better than everyone else who aren't training with smaller, heavier balls. So give that a try. So that's question number 3, right? And that's gonna hit the question of ball control. Ball control. And then the 4th question is, can I rotate ball control? Can I rotate the size of the ball when I juggle with it? So I used to spend hours juggling size 5 ball, right? I would go to my older brother's games or his tournaments, and all day I would be juggling. So much so that I remember one of my older brother's coaches telling me to like go kick rocks. He was like, I can't listen to you juggling anymore. And I just thought that was so, as a soccer coach, I was almost perplexed. I was like, what do you mean? You're a soccer coach. You should be encouraging my juggling and not telling me that it's annoying you, but whatever. Okay, yeah, so juggling will improve not only will improve passing and shooting, it's also going to improve your dribbling. The weight of each juggle that you do is going to help you. It's going to help you. If you can improve your juggling abilities, it's going to help you be able to take the ball out of the air and orient yourself to whatever target that you're aiming for. In theory, the goal or your teammates. So juggling different size balls. Question 4: Can I juggle different size balls? Tennis balls, medicine balls, basketball, volleyball. Take stock of all the balls that you have in your house, right? There's probably some in your basement or your closet or the car, the attic, right? Maybe your next door neighbors have extra balls. Ask them. Just say, do you have extra, even check in lost and found. It's like, that's one thing that I think most young players don't incorporate into their training regimen. They don't appreciate the value of juggling and dribbling with different size balls. So that's something that you could try. And question 5 is, can I make a kick trainer? Kick trainer will allow you to improve your striking technique. A kick trainer will help you improve your first touch, your ball control, your striking abilities, and it's going to allow you to cram months of training into days or weeks, because without a training partner or without access to a wall, you can increase the volume of your touches, and it's also going to help with your timing, your rhythm, and your coordination as well. In terms of your nutrition, you want to search. Charles Poliquin says a big breakfast. He said the secret to his success is a big breakfast. So you want to eat your meals from most liquid to most solid. It's going to help with digestion. Then you want to take 100 steps after you eat, right? They say the man who takes 99 steps after he eats lives to 100, something like that. It's an old Chinese proverb. And so Charles Poliquin, his diet is what he says he encourages you to eat local fruit, a variety of nuts to avoid developing sensitivities, protein of any kind, and then a healthy fat, so avocado, olive oil, something like that. So if you could just aim for those 4 things in every meal, it makes thinking about eating much more effortless. Right? You're never going to stress about eating again. And another beautiful thing about the Charles Poliquin diet is that he says that prisoners with poor food and poor sleep, still have world-class physiques. So he says, can we be thoughtful about what we're eating, but can we also not use our diet as an excuse for a reason not to train smart, not to train effectively? Because it shouldn't be. If a prisoner can do it with no food and poor sleep, right, because their roommate might want to kill him, or there's people screaming and beating each other up all the time, then you shouldn't have an excuse either. And then in terms of mentality, developing mental toughness, Tony Robbins, he tells a story of how he would say these incantations before bed. This is when he was sleeping in a broom closet, right, with not a dollar to his name. He would say over and over and over, I am unstoppable, I am unstoppable, I am unstoppable. He said he would say this for hours before bed. And when he woke up, he goes, how do you think I felt when I woke up after saying, I'm unstoppable for hours? So that knocks off mentality, right? So hopefully some of the ideas help. Reach out with any questions. All right, thank you. 508-505 1180. Okay.